This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, January 24th, halfway to the weekend.
That is right. It is hump day. It is Wednesday, halfway through that week.
You make it sound exciting.
I do, right? It's going to be a good day.
John Scalzi's going to join us now. Good morning, John.
It's going to be a great day. Absolutely,
like
Gordon. Yeah, no, it's going to be great. We had a front move through yesterday, obviously. Brought a little sea fog a little later in the afternoon. And then everything cleared out overnight and it's left us with some just lovely temperatures. A little bit on the cooler side this morning, in fact, significantly on the cooler side, but there'll be plenty of sunshine this afternoon. Taking a look at temperatures across the region, Longboat Key coming in at 56 degrees, Lakewood Ranch 53, Mayaca City 54, 56 in Venice, 57 Inglewood, Bradenton coming in at 53. That's about 12 to 13 degrees below where we were 24 hours ago at this time. So a significant cool down and some drier air as well. That's going to eliminate any chance of rainfall today. Sunshine across the board, maybe a few fair weather clouds. Daytime highs cooler than yesterday as well, coming in the mid to upper 60s across the region. Radar, of course, clean as a whistle. There'll be no rain showers probably for the next couple of days. Today, over the course of the next hour, we're going to talk about the slow warm up that we'll see over the next several days. We'll talk about a weekend cold front coming our way and Severe Weather Awareness Day. Topic today is tornadoes. Complete details coming up in a few.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. Already a buildup there on 301 northbound as you head toward downtown Bradenton. Also an issue out there, if we can click on that, at State Road 64 and I-75. We'll find out that eastbound, 2 lanes are blocked at 64th Street Court. So be aware of that as you're heading around that section of Manatee County. Let's check farther south now on the map. We'll find out that pretty clear until you get down to 41 southbound after Clark Road. Some congestion as you head toward Osprey and Nokomis. And our final map to the south will show us all clear at 5:02 on your Wednesday morning.
All right, some breaking news overnight. One suspect is dead after a late night shooting that involved a Manatee County Sheriff's deputy.
Let's go live to the scene now. Marla Spence has details from Manatee County. Marla?
Good morning to you guys. I'm live on the 6300 block of 6th Street West in Bradenton, and as you can see right behind me, the scene is still very active with investigators. This is the area where a man who is now dead was shot by a sheriff deputy last night after witnesses say they heard that man yell he had a gun and reached into his pockets, and that's when a sheriff deputy shot that man who was pronounced dead at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Now, the incident started all when sheriff deputies responded to a domestic dispute between that man and a woman at a gas station in the 3300 block of Cortez Road West around 9:20 last night, and that's when that deputy arrived on scene, and that man then fled in his car and ended up in this area. So far right now, we do not know the identity of that man. That is information that we are working to bring you on. As of right now, that sheriff deputy is on administrative leave, and like I said, we will work to bring you the latest in this investigation. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thanks, Marla. We'll keep you updated on this case online and on the air as well. There are some new developments in another murder case, also Manatee County. The reward for information in that case has now gone up. The Gold Star Club is offering up to $5,000 for information about Michael Grantley's death. Now, Crime Stoppers is also offering a reward up to $3,000. Deputies say a worker found Grantley's body off 26th Avenue East in Bradenton about a week ago. Now, anyone with information is asked to call the Crime Stoppers number that you see right there on your screen.
An update now out of Palmetto, where police say a missing 6th grader has since been found. Manatee School for the Arts posted on their Facebook page that this girl, Gianna Salippo, didn't make it home from school yesterday, but then posted last night that she had been found. So the school wants to thank the public for their support during that awful search. One of the star players on the state champion Venice High School football team is under arrest.
That is right. Jeremy Trebles Jr. was arrested on drug charges in Sarasota on Monday night. Our Rick Adams has the latest.
Well, this board here at Venice High School shows just how proud they are of their championship football team. So the news that one of their players was arrested has come as a complete shock. Jeremy Trebles has gone from this to this in just a matter of weeks. The star defensive back on the state champion Venice High School football team was arrested Monday night in the 1100 block of Central Ave in Sarasota. The 18-year-old has been charged with possession of cocaine with intent to sell within 1,000 feet of a school or place of worship.
We're sad to hear that news about Jeremy this afternoon, and you know, our job and my job as an educator and why I got in this business is to help young men and young women get to where they want to be in life.
Sarasota police say Trebles was parked in this lot next to a convenience store when he was busted. 2 bags, each containing about 4 grams of cocaine, were found, as well as hundreds of dollars in cash. One man who works in this area says it's a street that's filled with lots of drug activity.
I am very surprised, yes, because you don't see a lot of athletes around here. It's mostly just really just crackheads and dope dealers around here.
We're being told Trebles is being recruited by many Division I football programs. He is currently free on bail and is scheduled to be arraigned on February 23rd. Coach John Peacock tells us he and other folks from the school will assist Trebles any way they can.
Even though he made an awful mistake and a horrible decision, you know, we're going to try to get Jeremy back on track and see if we can help him.
And at this point, it's not known if Trebles will participate in the Parade of Champions, which has taken place for the Venice High School football team and volleyball team. That's scheduled to take place on February 3rd. Reporting from Venice, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Today marks day 3 of Severe Weather Awareness Week, as John Scalzi mentioned, and we want you to have all the information and tips that you need to stay safe in the event of a tornado. Today, 10 o'clock, the National Weather Service will issue a tornado drill warning via NOAA's weather radio and social media. Now, as with any drill, they are encouraging everyone to take shelter as they would during an actual tornado warning. Now, many of us found this useful during last year's hurricane season. You can sign up for the county's Code Red telephone notification system. Big helpful hint, which is going to notify you of a tornado warning in your area.
The island of Venice is bracing for a major road project there. A new project plans to tear up the roadway and sidewalks along Venice Avenue in the downtown area. The project will cost almost $6 million, and there's a tight deadline. The city's engineering department is estimating it could be done in about 8 months.
They will be working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's going to be a quick project, but there's a lot to get done.
The project begins in April.
And the Sarasota County School District and the Teachers Union are still in the process of negotiating teacher pay increases, but it hasn't been an easy process. Teachers have been vocal about wanting an increase in their pay. So far, the district and the union are not far off from just over a 3% increase. Now, the issue gets more complicated when it comes to just how that money will be distributed. Now, the school district wants to follow a performance pay standard where teachers are paid based on their effectiveness, but the union wants teachers to be paid based on their years of service.
When you look at average teacher salaries for all 67 school districts, we show we have the second highest average salary of any district in the state of Florida.
Currently, like he said, Sarasota teachers are reportedly among some of the highest paid on average across the state.
A Manatee County commissioner is calling for the resignation of the executive director of the local youth center. Commissioner Charles Smith says he's received more than 100 complaints from parents and students about Palmetto's youth center director, Reggie Bellamy. Smith says he's also disappointed that Bellamy didn't do any fundraising in the wake of some major budget cuts.
To go out in the community, raise money, to build relationships and partnerships, and that is not happening. You cannot receive taxpayers' money and don't show up to work. So he needs to resign soon. He has to February the 1st to resign.
And Smith says if he doesn't resign by that date, he would take the necessary steps to make sure he does. We reached out to Bellamy for a comment, but did not get a response.
Well, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is asking the community for support in helping out one of their own. Corrections Deputy Anna Ferguson and her family lost everything in a devastating house fire. Fire officials believe the blaze started in the children's room and may have been caused by an electrical issue. Now, the Sheriff's Office is helping out Deputy Ferguson, but they're also looking for your help from the community as well. A GoFundMe page has been started for the family. Now, if you'd like to help or donate, you can visit the website shown right there on your screen.
A new scam alert for those of you on Netflix. This fraud has turned up as close as Southwest Florida. Subscribers say they've received suspicious emails about their Netflix membership. It's asking to reset or unlock their user ID or update their billing. Although these emails appear very legitimate, those who click on the link in the email will be directed to a phony Netflix page and asked to enter their login and credit card numbers. Netflix has posted a warning on the website with instructions on what to do if you suspect you have received a phony email.
Well, in consumer news now, higher paychecks are in the pipeline for some 22,000 JP Chase employees. The nation's largest bank says it's giving a 10% raise to its frontline workers, including tellers and customer service reps. Now, that bank is also going to hire 4,000 new employees, open up to 400 new branches, and ramp up some small business lending as well. Now, that move is in line with other banks who are among the biggest beneficiaries of that new tax overhaul. But JP Chase says they are also continue closing down some of the less lucrative branches. And the happiest place in the world is making their employees a little happier today. Disney is giving employees extra cash to celebrate that new tax bill as well. The company announced it's going to give 125,000 employees a $1,000 cash bonus. Disney also said it plans to invest $50 million in a tuition program for its hourly employees.
Wow.
Right? Happiest place, happier.
Just got happier.
Yes.
All right. Still ahead, First Alert traffic and First Alert weather. And get this one. You have not heard this before. A senator on Capitol Hill is, wait for it, pregnant. We'll tell you what makes this so unique coming up.
And coming up a little later in the hour, we've got the latest on a fatal deputy-involved shooting in Manatee County. Stick around. We've got more on that next.
Well, Capitol Hill's not always productive, but it is reproductive, it turns out.
Sorry. Boom, boom. He's here all week, folks.
Thanks. Yes, I am. 5:12 right now. John Scalzi's forecast after this.
Join ABC 7 at the all-new 2018 edition of Circus Sarasota. Ovation under the big top at Nathan Benderson Park behind the mall at UTC. Friday, February 9th through Sunday, March 4th. All opening weekend tickets are 20% off courtesy of ABC 7. To purchase your discount tickets, visit circusarts.org. The Circus Sarasota box office at the big top or call 941-355-9805.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Selfless service is the guiding principle of every Army National Guard soldier. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. To be an Army National Guard soldier is to serve something greater than yourself. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at some lovely weather today. As we head into the afternoon, you're going to see nothing but clear skies, sunny conditions. It's really going to be beautiful. The front moved through. It changed things up, and for a period of about 3 or 4 days, we should be looking at sunshine, a few fair weather clouds, and some very pleasant temperatures. As we get into the weekend, things may change just a little bit as we start to see the potential for some showers, particularly on Sunday. Talk all about that in a few. 54 degrees by 7 a.m. under mostly clear skies. By 12 noon, 64. Lots of sunshine. By 3 p.m., 66 degrees. Again, mostly sunny conditions. And by 7 o'clock this evening, 59 degrees. Mostly clear skies. No rain today. A little bit breezy perhaps at times, but otherwise, low relative humidity air will make it feel very comfortable. Look what's happened to the dew point. Over the course of 24 hours, we've dropped the dew point by almost 20 degrees. So a significant drop in our humidity, 55 our air temperature. Right now, we have a north wind coming in at about 8. All in all, a beautiful start to the day. Rain showers are gone across the peninsula. We have some around the Florida Straits still. That's where the frontal boundary is now located, kind of a very weakened frontal boundary, but still down around the Florida Keys, there could be a scattered area of drizzle or showers. Nothing to worry about back there out in the Gulf. Our area, absolutely free and clear of any kind of showers, fog, any kind of weather issues whatsoever. We have on our futurecast as we progress through the morning hours, drop-off time at school looks good. Plenty of sunshine around by 12 noon. And maybe a few fair weather clouds. We have an active southern branch jet stream which streams some high-level clouds from time to time across the peninsula. And so we could catch a little bit of that, but really, that is not a problem for us whatsoever. In fact, it'll probably enhance our sunset tonight. As we head into tomorrow morning, everything looks good as well. Drive time should be just fine, and the afternoon sunny as well. Back to the west, this high-pressure ridge will bring us just lovely weather over the course of the next 3 days. And then as we head into the weekend, we'll be watching this cold front advancing across the country and eventually bringing us a chance of rainfall. Right now, it's located in the Pacific Northwest, producing some rain showers and snow showers at high elevations there. So it'll take all the way till Sunday before it crosses the country and gets into our neck of the woods. Until then, our weather is all about that high-pressure ridge sitting over the state of Florida, providing us with a nice northerly flow of air today, dry air. Eventually, that high will move closer to the Atlantic, and that will shift our winds to a more easterly and eventually even southeasterly direction as we get into the weekend. That will warm us up, and that will increase the humidity by the time we get to Saturday. Until then, lower humidity, a little bit cooler, a slow warm-up that'll take place over several days, and then we'll wait for those Sunday showers to come our way. Right now, they look non-severe in nature, so we really don't need to worry about that right yet. Satellite view shows pretty quiet conditions across the Suncoast. A lot of sunshine in store for you. North wind coming in at about 10 to 15. We'll look at daytime high today. The tops out mild, coming in around 68 degrees. Tomorrow, again, we'll start to see a little bit of a warm-up start to take place tomorrow night into Friday. We'll be up into the mid-70s again. Saturday, we'll work in a slight chance of showers with increasing cloud cover. On Sunday, first alert weather day. 60% chance of rainfall then, and the front moves through and kind of clears us all out for the beginning of next work week. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic. We do have a couple things to take note of, especially this early in the morning. It's unusual. We do have some congestion on 301 and State Road 64 as well. And then on 64 in the eastbound lane, there is an accident. 2 lanes are blocked at 64th Street. Right in there, you've got a little bit of an accident, so be sure if you're give a heads up if you're heading out to that area. And then if you're heading into North Sarasota, that part of the city is looking pretty good. Not so much congestion out there today. And if you're heading into South County, just a little bit on 41 if you're heading into Port Charlotte or Punta Gorda, but other than that, that area looks pretty quiet out there this morning. It is 5:19, and that is your first alert traffic. Well, we are learning more about an interview last week in the ongoing investigation into that Russian meddling in our election.
It turns out investigators already talked to Attorney General Jeff Sessions, and now they want to talk to President Trump. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the story.
The Russia investigation reaching right into President Trump's cabinet. Attorney General Jeff Sessions interviewed by special counsel Robert Mueller's team.
Mr. President, are you concerned about what the Attorney General told the special counsel?
No, I'm not at all concerned.
Sessions has faced scrutiny since his Capitol Hill testimony critics called misleading.
I didn't not have communications with the Russians.
Turns out, Sessions had several conversations with the Russian ambassador during the 2016 campaign.
Therefore, I have recused myself.
The AG later handing off the Russia probe. Sources tell ABC News Mueller's team questioned Sessions about those conversations with the ambassador. ABC News has also learned the special counsel wants to interview the president to know about two key matters, suggesting a possible obstruction of justice investigation, the circumstances around the president's firing of ex-National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, and former FBI Director James Comey, who we've learned sat down with Mueller's team late last year. The interview focused on a series of Comey's memos documenting what he found to be troubling requests from President Trump. The president has said he had the Russia investigation on his mind when he fired Comey.
The president wants to see this end, and he wants to see them finally come to the same conclusion that I think most everyone in America has, that there is nothing to this.
At this point, there's still no formal interview request from the special counsel or word if Trump would actually agree to an interview. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Well, the good news, the government shutdown is over. The bad news, that debate is still raging on. President Trump signed a short-term fix funding the government for less than 3 weeks. Now, that bill ended the 69-hour shutdown and reauthorized children's health care for 6 years, but included nothing so far on immigration. Now, Democrats only got Republicans to agree to debate DACA legislation to resolve the fate of the 800,000 undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children.
There is a real commitment on both sides of the aisle in the Senate to work so hard to achieve a result.
And President Trump tweeted out, "Nobody knows for sure that the Republicans and Democrats will be able to reach a deal on DACA by February the 8th, but everyone will be trying." Now, the president has given Congress until March 5th to figure out an immigration deal.
Well, you don't hear this too often. In fact, first time ever, a senator on Capitol Hill is pregnant. Yeah, Illinois' Tammy Duckworth would be the first senator to give birth while in office. It's happened 9 times before on the House side. Duckworth is a retired Army lieutenant colonel who lost her legs after her helicopter was shot down in Iraq back in 2004. This will be her second child. She's due in April, a few weeks after her 50th birthday.
Wow, good for her.
Lots of layers in that story.
Lots of layers for sure.
Wow.
My goodness, what a story right there.
Yeah.
All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Apple wants to come into your home, but not in a weird way. We've got more on their latest product, the much anticipated HomePod, straight ahead in Tech Bites.
And next half hour, an update on a Kentucky school shooting that left 2 high school students dead and their classmate in custody. Those stories and more when we come back.
It's time to take a road trip. Alabama's got 100 road trips. And if you love the sun, you're gonna love Mobile, where Mardi Gras is king, and the accommodations will make you feel like royalty. You can take a little drive, explore Dauphin Island, or explore the past. We're talking the USS Alabama. Check out these big guns. Alabama's got 100 road trips. Plan yours at alabama.travel. Which one you gonna take?
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Jeopardy fans in Manatee County should have nailed at least one of last night's double Jeopardy questions. During the show, Alex Trebek gave the clue, quote, in 2017, the oldest of this type of aquatic mammal in captivity died at the age of 69 in a Florida county of the same name. Of course, it is our friend Snooty, the manatee, who served as the county's mascot right up until his death. None of the contestants knew the answer to that. But one contestant took a guess and was not right. It was so wrong. His guess, Orca County.
Where is Orca County?
Apparently it's also Orlando. No,
Yes.
it's not at all.
Now, you were in DeSoto County.
That's right. Manatees to apes. I spent some time yesterday at the Center for Great Apes in Wauchula, and it was one of the most, this is their diet right here, actually made me hungry for salad.
Boy.
They do amazing work. They're a sanctuary for orangutans and chimps, and I went out there, there's one of them. They have all these elevated walkways all over. There's one of the orangutans. They have all these elevated walkways where they can go wherever they want to. This is me moments after getting spit on by a chimp, which happened twice. It's not often you can say that during your workday. Hey, I went to work and got spit on by a chimp. But it was the most amazing afternoon hearing the stories from these animals. They rescue a lot of them that have been in the entertainment business for years. The ones that have been on Seinfeld, they were in Wolf of Wall Street, Every Which Way But Loose with Clint Eastwood years ago.
Really?
And so they nurse them back to health, both physically and mentally. So we're going to have more on that story as we come. There's a very famous resident that everyone will know.
You want to tell them?
Nope, I'm going to make you watch.
Oh, what a tease.
All right, that's a tease.
All right.
Right. All right, well, welcome back officially. It is 5:26. After weeks of delays, Apple is almost ready to take pre-orders for its HomePod, that Siri voice speaker.
ABC's Candace Gibson and Maggie Rulli have details in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple's smart speaker available soon.
You can pre-order the HomePod starting Friday. The release date will be February 9th.
Apple CEO Tim Cook says its sound quality will be what sets it apart from its competitors.
KFC is giving its fried chicken some new wings. Boxes for its new chicken wings can be turned into a drone.
They're calling it the Kentucky Flying Object, or KFO, but they'll only be available tomorrow and Friday in India.
No.
It's starting to sound like Amazon's Alexa is a fan of the Eagles.
Yeah, here's her response to who do you think will win the Super Bowl?
I'm flying with the Eagles on this one because of their relentless offense and the
Users are getting that response all over the country, even in Massachusetts.
It's not too late, New England, to return that Alexa you got for Christmas.
It's gone.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Office Depot Office Max.
Running a business is not for the faint of heart. Luckily, Office Depot Office Max is here to take care of you. With print services. Done right, on time, guaranteed. Expert tech support. This week at Office Depot Office Max, save big on tax software for your business. Plus, let us help you manage your business finances at OfficeDepot.com/BizBox.
Taking care of business.
When you have a cold, stuff happens. Shut down cold symptoms fast with maximum strength Alka-Seltzer Plus liquid gels.
Manolo, you're so cold. Come in. What's wrong?
It's dry.
Your scalp might get dry in the winter too. Try Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp Care. It nourishes the scalp and keeps you up to 100% flake-free. Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp Care.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, breaking news overnight for you. The latest on that deadly shooting in Manatee County that involved a sheriff deputy.
Plus an update on that Kentucky teenager charged with shooting and killing 2 classmates. We'll hear from other students.
And should convicted felons in the state of Florida have voting rights? It's up for debate, and we'll have the latest on those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. It is 5:32. I'm Stephanie Webb on this Wednesday morning.
What are you tomorrow?
I'm gonna be Ray Collins tomorrow morning on Thursday.
Don't try that.
It's Ray Collins Thursday.
No, don't try that. Good morning, folks.
Because if you're Ray Collins, you spill coffee all over the break room. True story.
John, I did it again. I put the filter in, poured the water in, and didn't put the carafe beneath it.
That is right. Usually it only happens to me, John, but it happened to somebody else today.
I have done that.
Coffee spilling everywhere when I came back to the break room.
It's that epiphany moment when you walk back in and there is a sea of coffee all over the floor. That wakes you up.
That is right.
Not the caffeine.
Free coffee
it's
today.
That moment. That's right. We have across the region temperatures that are cooler than yesterday. We have 52 degrees in Bradenton, 51 in Parrish, 53 Lakewood Ranch, 55 Sarasota, Venice, Inglewood coming in at 56. These temperatures are running around 13 to 15 degrees cooler than it was 24 hours ago. Day planner looks like this: 54 degrees by 7, 12 o'clock noon, 64 degrees, and by 3 p.m. it is 66 degrees. No issues with your drive time forecast, either going to or coming from work today. All of the weather boxes are unchecked this morning, so it is an absolutely stellar afternoon. We'll have complete details on the week ahead, including a possible rainy day this weekend. And we'll take a look at the 3rd day of Severe Weather Awareness Week. Tornadoes. Talk about that in a sec.
All right, John, talk to you soon. Thank you. Checking first alert traffic now. A little blip there in the eastbound lane of State Road 70 as you head past Lockwood Ridge and go toward the interstate. Otherwise clear in Manatee County. The only thing we see right now on that map is that the 41-301 split right there by Lukewood Park across from Publix. South County mostly clear at 5:34 on your Wednesday morning.
And breaking news overnight, a suspect is dead after a late-night shooting that involved a Manatee County Sheriff's deputy.
Our Marla Spence is live at the scene with more on the story. Marla, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I'm live on the 6300 block of 6th Street West in Bradenton. And as you can see behind me, the crime scene tape is still currently up. But the sheriff's office, it looks like they are wrapping up their investigation out here just a few moments ago. The crime scene units, 2 of those vans were just pulled away from this scene. This is the area where a man who is now dead was shot by a sheriff deputy last night. Witnesses say that they heard that man yell that he had a gun and reached into his pocket, and that's when a sheriff deputy shot that man who was pronounced dead at the hospital. Now, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office tells ABC7 that sheriff deputy responded to a domestic dispute between a man and a woman at the 3300 block of Cortez Road West, and that man took off in his car and pulled into a driveway in this neighborhood. Now, we're not too sure which home exactly that man pulled into, and we're also being told that the identity of that man will be released later on this morning. So that is information that we will bring you on once we get that information. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla.
Well, we're learning new developments overnight from that school shooting yesterday in Kentucky. 2 15-year-old students were killed, but a motive for that attack remains unclear.
And classes are canceled today. Reporter Candace Gibson has the latest from Kentucky.
Overnight, a community in Kentucky leaning on each other and their faith.
Lord, be with those who are in the midst of this tragic situation.
Just hours earlier, chaos at this high school south of Paducah.
Marshall County High School active shooter. 4 people down, 1 unresponsive. The shooter still on site.
A male student with a handgun opening fire in a common area, killing Bailey Holt and Preston Cope, both 15 years old. Another 18 people injured.
We all started running towards a library office, and once we got in there, we just shut the lights off, sat down, locked the doors.
It just was like bang, 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 and nobody knew what to do.
Kennedy Scraggs, a senior at the school, was talking with friends when the shots were fired.
When I first heard it, I thought it was like maybe a balloon or something like that, but I thought that it was really loud. And then after that, I heard 5 more, and it was like unmistakable. You knew it was about to be really bad.
The shooting taking place just days before the school's homecoming dance, which was supposed to be held in that same common area.
It's crazy to think that Friday we were supposed to be in there, everybody happy and dancing and having a good time, and today 2 people lost their lives in there.
The suspected shooter was taken into custody without incident. Police have spoken with his parents, but only able to release a few details about him because he's a juvenile.
I don't know anything about him. I know that he must have been going through a tough time, and he needs our prayers, and his family needs our prayers because, I mean, as much as it's a terrible situation, it's only prayer that's going to get us through it, and they need it as much as anybody else.
Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
New details about that California house of horrors where parents held their 13 children captive for years. A neighbor shot video of police escorting some of the kids out of the house. That's not the correct video. Police say David and Louise Turpin forced their children to live in deplorable conditions. The list of accusations includes shackling the children to bed, depriving them of water, and starving them while taunting them with food. They only found out when a daughter escaped and called 911. The parents are now facing several serious charges.
Happening today, sentencing is expected to begin in the Larry Nassar trial. Now, 3 additional victims are still expected to speak together this morning about Nassar after more than 140 women who allege Nassar abused them told their stories over the last week in court. Now, Nassar pleaded guilty to 7 counts of criminal sexual conduct. The former USA gymnastics doctor admitted to sexually assaulting young women in his care, some younger than 13 years old.
Happening in Florida, prosecutors will seek the death penalty against the Seminole Heights serial murder suspect. Prosecutors say Howell Donaldson killed his 4 victims in a cold and calculating manner. They say all the victims' families were okay with the decision to seek the death penalty. Police arrested him late last year after he gave his boss at McDonald's a bag to hold. She opened it, found a gun, and called police. You'll have a chance this fall to vote on whether convicted felons should have their voting rights restored. It affects about 1.5 million ex-cons in Florida. A group called Floridians for Fair Democracy led a petition for reinstating their rights. Felons would first have to serve out their entire sentences, including parole and probation. The reinstatement would not apply to convicted murderers or sex offenders.
Well, recent deaths along the path of a new rail system in South Florida has left several lawmakers calling for greater state oversight of passenger rails. Legislation filed in Tallahassee would create the Florida High-Speed Passenger Rail Safety Act. That bill is aimed at establishing safety standards for the fast-moving trains and installing better safety measures along those tracks, especially at railroad crossings. Now, the legislation would require Brightline to foot the estimated $350 million bill for those upgrades. Now, those include better fence construction and warning systems to alert a train in advance that something or someone is on the track.
Our citizens are not used to these trains, so the public awareness is very important to let the community know the trains are coming.
Well, supporters of the legislation say Florida currently has little to no state regulation governing those high-speed rails. Now, since the recent deaths, Brightline has placed additional electronic signage at busy intersections in South Florida, warning the public about more frequent and more faster trains.
Also in Tallahassee, a House panel approved a bill that would require the message, "In God We Trust," be displayed at all public schools. Supporters say the motto is a foundation of the state and country. "In God We Trust" is already included in state law as Florida's official motto. The bill would require school boards to adopt rules ensuring that the motto be displayed in a conspicuous place in each school. Republican State Representative Randy Fine of Brevard County supports the bill.
As someone whose grandmother came to America in order to be Jewish after 9 of her brothers and sisters and both of her parents were killed in Russia, that's why she came here. Not to be protected from religion, it was to be protected from a state that wouldn't let her practice her religion.
An identical bill has been filed in the Senate, but it has not yet been heard by any Senate committees.
College students in Florida may soon be able to exercise free speech anywhere on a state campus. The Florida House's Post-Secondary Education Subcommittee approved the Campus Free Expression Act yesterday. That legislation would end free speech zones. Now, students in some free speech advocacy groups have said that those zones restrict a student's rights under the First Amendment because it restricts where they can gather or hand out literature. Now, these zones are often away from some of the high traffic areas on campus. Now, that bill still has 2 more committees where it will be heard before possibly heading over to the House floor.
5:42 right now. Should be a nice day. John's forecast is next, but first, a possible major breakthrough in medicine.
That's right. We're going to tell you about a new test that may be able to detect early stages of cancer through your blood. It's up next in Health Smart.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. It is the largest orchid show on Florida's West Coast with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. Go to vaos.org online for more details.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
It's the second day of Tornado Awareness Week, or rather Severe Weather Awareness Week, and today we focus on tornadoes. The important thing for tornado safety is to plan early. Have that plan in place so when the event occurs, you know exactly what to do. And practice often. Speaking of which, there will be a tornado drill today at 10 o'clock from the National Weather Service over NOAA Weather Radio. Now, that alert will not trigger your system, so you'll need to have it turned on to NOAA Weather Radio in order to experience that tornado drill. And it's highly recommended that as we progress through this season and we get into the beginnings of spring, when the tornado season really starts to ramp up, that you have that system in place, a plan for work, a plan for school, and a plan for recreating out of doors if that's your bent. Know where to take shelter in each of those locations and plan it with your family so that everybody in the family knows where to do that. If you are outside, why, then you'll have to seek shelter the best you can if you can't get to a solid structure. And sometimes a car is the best place to do that. If you have no other option, it's a last resort option. But be sure the car is turned on so the airbags are activated and your seatbelt is firmly in place. If it's in your home, an interior room, away from doors and windows, a bathroom, closet, good choices. And know the tornado signs. If it's daylight, look for that rotating part of the mid-level cloud cover. Look for what is called the funnel beginning to lower from the cloud base. If it's at nighttime, look for pops of light in the distance at the ground level. Those are transformers blowing up. Or listen for that roar that some people describe as a freight train. Know those signs, have that plan in place, and this season will be hopefully an uneventful one for us here on the Suncoast. Temperatures today, 54 degrees by 7 o'clock, 64 by noon, 66 by 3, and 59 degrees by 7 p.m. As we head into the morning hours, temperatures in the mid-50s will continue to rise with a dew point of 50. It's a lot less humid out there today. No rain in the forecast. It's going to be a beautiful day. Lots of sunshine around. Rain showers now pushed out into the Atlantic and down in the Florida Straits by the frontal boundary, which is located there. For us, quiet conditions. Lots of blue sky, nothing on radar. The hour-by-hour forecast through the day shows lots of sunshine by noontime and 1 o'clock. Maybe some streaming high-level clouds. Not rain producers, but kind of a signal of an active southern branch jet stream that's basically over us. So we get these high-level clouds. They'll make a sunset very pretty. They'll reflect the lights of the setting sun and really make a nice lit-up sky. We watch a big ridge of sprawling high pressure across the deep south provide us with several days in a row of very lovely weather, and then we wait for a front over the weekend to perhaps bring us a chance of rain. Watch for that wind out of the northwest. A little bit breezy today, boaters. Otherwise, for today, we look for a daytime high temperature coming in cooler than yesterday at about 68 with lots of sunshine. Tomorrow, about the same, but we start to warm tomorrow night. On Friday, we get to about 75 degrees before the clouds start to roll in on Sunday with a 20% chance of showers. But on Sunday, we'll also have a first alert weather day with about a 60% chance of rainfall. Could be a few thunderstorms around as well, but severe weather right now not anticipated. As we head into Monday and Tuesday, a little bit cooler as the frontal boundary passes through. I'll have some additional information for you on tornadoes on our website, mysuncoast.com, and the First Alert Weather app. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take another look at your first alert traffic out there in Manatee County. The roads are looking pretty good. Little congestion on State Road 64 and a little bit on 70 as well. In North Sarasota County, the roads are looking pretty good out there today. You have your usual slowdowns around University and a little bit there on Clark Road. And then in South County, the roads are looking pretty smooth out there as well. So looking good out there this morning, 5:50 in your first alert traffic. And in this hour's Health Smart, scientists may be getting closer to developing a new way to detect cancer in your body.
As reporter Mary Maloney tells us, it involves an experimental blood test.
Scientists are seeing progress with an experimental blood test that could detect cancer. In trials, the non-invasive test found the presence of multiple common tumors, including in the ovary, liver, stomach, pancreas, lung, and breast. The findings were published in the journal Science. The blood test is called CancerSeek and could run patients less than $500. That cost is comparable to or lower than other cancer screenings. The test enables researchers to evaluate the levels of specific blood protein markers combined with thousands of DNA markers. Using this information, they developed an algorithm to determine the source of cancer identified in positive tests. CancerSeek's sensitivity averaged 70% among 8 types of cancer. It was able to detect 98% of ovarian cancers, but only 33% of breast cancers, and that's in patients who have already been diagnosed. Researchers warn that as of now, the test only lays a foundation for detection, but they are hopeful that detecting early-stage cancers could become easier in the future. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
Up next, your day's top local news headlines, and a senior citizen was flying high on her birthday.
We'll tell you just why she chose this way to ring in her big birthday when we come back.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwell's At Einstein's, at FAU, I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
A Manatee County Sheriff's deputy shot and killed a man involved in a domestic dispute last night. The incident began at a gas station on Cortez and ended behind a house on 6th Street West, where the man allegedly yelled he had a gun and reached into his pocket.
Plus, prosecutors will seek the death penalty against the man suspected of randomly killing 4 people and terrorizing Tampa's Seminole Heights neighborhood for several months.
And for the first time, a senator on Capitol Hill will give birth while in office. It happened 10 times on the House side. Illinois Democrat Tammy Duckworth will deliver in April at the age of 50. The former soldier lost her legs in combat in Iraq.
Finally this hour, Jeannie Wine is flying high at 92. She celebrated her 92nd birthday, again 92, with indoor skydiving in Texas. She chose the indoor option after considering jumping out of a plane like former President George H.W. Bush has done on previous birthdays. She's reportedly the second oldest person to reach the top of the chamber at the iFly there. Happy birthday, Jean. What a cool
Wow.
story. It's amazing. I've done that before in Tampa. It's so fun.
I want to.
Yeah, it's very cool. You should try it.
All right, we'll have more of John's forecast right now. 55 degrees and a clear shot there at the Rosemary District. Good morning, Suncoast continues after this.